Hi. Are there any of you out there old enough to remember this series of books? Not so much the word semantics, but the cover, the black and yellow cover. Teach Yourself books. There were hundreds of them published. And the very first one that I ever read, and the one that stayed in my mind, is a book on public speaking called Teach Yourself Public Speaking by Peter Westland. The book was actually published way back in 1946, and a new issue was issued in 1976. This book stayed in my mind because it was the very first book I'd ever read on public speaking. And I became interested in public speaking in 1972. The first book, Peter Westland's Teach Yourself Public Speaking, would have arrived a short time thereafter. So I'd have probably been reading the 1946 version. It was very powerful because it gave 5 requisites of the great public speaker. And I've presented those 5 requisites in quite a number of speeches in Toastmasters, one only a couple of days ago. And what are these requisites? The first of the 5 is the desire to succeed, the burning desire to succeed as a speaker. Your why, I guess you could say, your why as to why you're doing it. The second has to be that you have to be sincere. You have to be absolutely sincere. This is what you want to do. No joking about it. Come from the heart, that sort of sincerity. The third requisite is, of course, you have to know your subject matter. You have to know it well, really well, better than the average person. Otherwise, why would they come to hear you? The fourth requisite is, of course, the tools of trade, the language we use, the words we know, the powerful words, how to present them. And the fifth is practice, practice, practice. So, just those 5 things alone: the burning desire to succeed, sincerity of purpose, knowledge of the subject, having a good working vocabulary, and being able to practice, practice, practice. These are the 5 things which will enable you to become the best speaker you can be. I've read many books on public speaking. Probably goes into scores of books now. But that very first book by Peter Westland, which came out so many years ago, had such an influence on me that 50 years later, I still love public speaking.